Hello, 8th graders. This is Miss Carenta here. Just going to go over quickly how to do the Wednesday work for Gizmos, which is the mineral identification. So when you open up your Gizmos, it's going to look something like this. All right, it's actually going to start on sample A, so I'll start there too. So it's going to look like this, and the things we're going to need to know is crystal, density, hardness, luster, mass, mineral, streak, volume. So, a mineral is a naturally formed crystal. You can identify a mineral by its properties. In the Mineral Identification Gizmos, under Choose, Property to Test, select Density. So I'm going to go over here, and it said Property to Test right here. I'm going to choose not Appearance, but Density. All right, and then tells me what to do next. Mass is the amount of substance in an object. Drag the mineral sample onto the balance. What is the mass of the mineral? And you want to measure that in grams. So I'm going to drag this onto the scale and measure the grams. Volume is the amount of space an object takes up. The volume is measured by how much water rises in the graduated cylinder. Drag the mineral onto the cylinder. We're going to find out the volume. And remember that we're going to do this in milliliters. All right? So then I would drag this to the cylinder. What is it going to get me? How much did it rise? So look at before and after. How much did it rise? All right. Density is a measure of how light or heavy an object is for its size. To find the density of an object, divide the mass by the volume. So what is the mineral's density? All right, so we're going to figure out how many grams divided by the cubic centimeters. Okay, the next part is actually identifying the minerals. So what properties allow us to identify minerals? Minerals are made of atoms in a repeating pattern and often form crystals. The shapes of crystals can help identify the mineral. Luster is the way a mineral's surface reflects light. There are many ways to describe luster. Four examples are shown. Color can sometimes be a useful way to identify a mineral, but it's not always reliable. So we're going to describe the crystal shape of sample A and describe its color and luster. So if I look here, I'm going to go back to appearance. And you can see here I have different luster examples. And then colors, we can just use the colors that we already know. So something can be metallic, glassy, pearly, or dull. See, that one doesn't shine at all. These other ones are kind of reflecting light. So I can drag it up here and think about, all right, what color is that? What's its luster? What does it look like? Is it shiny? Is it dull? And I'm not looking so much at the colors that are here, but how they're reflecting light. Does it look like glass? Does it look dull? Maybe the cover of a notebook. And then here we can look at the common crystal shapes. Is it irregular? Is it a pyramid? Is it a hexagon, a cube, a rectangle? So if I go back to my gizmos, describe the color and luster. So here I can put if it's pearly or if it's dull. So any of those luster examples. And then whatever you wrote for density, the very top here on our warm-up, number 3, you're just going to copy that again right here. All right, number 3 is measure. Select the hardness test. Hardness is a measure of how easily a mineral can be scratched. It's measured on a scale of 1 to 10. If a mineral scratches a fingernail, it's a hardness of 2.5, but not a penny, which is 3.5, its hardness is about 3. So if it scratches all the objects, its hardness is greater than 6.5. So I'm going to go back to my gizmos, change from appearance to hardness. And then I can test, does it scratch a fingernail? And I don't see any white marks. You'll know because look at this. There's a little white scratches going on. All right. So then based on what it can scratch, that's how hard it is. All right. So then you can just do your best estimate right here. 4 is observe. So select the streak test. The streak is the color of the material's powder. You can observe the streak by rubbing the mineral across the tile called streak plate. And then tell us what color is the streak. So I'm going to go here, choose a different property, choose streak, and then figure out what color is it. What color is it? And if it doesn't have a color, what would you say? Then we're going to select the acid test and figure out, does it fizz? So select a different property, acid test, and does it fizz? Most won't. All right, and identify. So now is where we're going to go all the way to the bottom, and we're going to use what we learned. So all the way here, mineral key. So we're going to look all the way here. Okay, what was its shape? What was its color? What was its density, its hardness, its streak? And then did it fizz in the acid? And then based on that, we can figure out what mineral it was. So these are divided up in two ways, metallic and non-metallic. So glassy, pearly, or dull. So ours didn't have a streak. It's a grayish silver color. What was its hardness? What was its density? I'm going to work backwards to figure out what the mineral was and then put that in here. All right, and then you're going to repeat the same thing with different samples. So go back to my gizmos, and here's sample A. Can go next to sample B and test the same thing. All right, remember anything that is in the orange is something you're going to put on your slide. Again, that's going to be page 4 in your Minerals and Rocks notebook. So anything that's highlighted in orange, you're going to put into these boxes. All right, let me know if you have any questions or Miss Van Overbeck, and I hope you have a great day.